Ah, yes. Tired of the same old shit. Welcome into the grounds. Friday morning, 216 The Net with Giles and Jones. The show that talks about anything from politics to peanut butter, but
no politics.
No politics. Of course, I am Jones. He's Giles. That's who you're seeing if you're on social media.
I'm all alone.
He's all
today.
alone. But we are expecting a handful of Olympians to come walking through that door at any moment. So I'm just sitting in the producer's booth.
Yeah, waiting.
For now.
Waiting. Yeah.
Right.
Before they show up.
Big day for the USASA. They've got their third annual. You've got all the information right there.
Third annual golf outing at the McHenry Country Club today. So if you got time and you love to golf, come on out. I don't know how many spots, if they have any spots still left open, but donations are always greatly appreciated. USASA is basically the starting grounds and training grounds for all of our Olympians, and they help support them because I don't know if you caught our show last week, but
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
we
ago.
were in the woods last week.
That's right.
Yeah.
We were in the woods.
Yeah.
I forgot this. But our government does not help fund or pay for any of our Olympians to train, which was kind of mind-blowing to me. I don't know if you know.
It's interesting to me as well. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, you would think that there'd be some type of assistance.
You would
right?
think.
But
You would think there'd be something. Of course, the ground's brought to you through the financial support of our friends at
Cannabis CBD Shop, 818
Come on in, brother.
Front Street. Hey, we just had someone stopping in today. How are you?
Pick a microphone and let's go to work.
Yeah.
Have a seat. Have a seat. I'm Scott.
Scott, how you doing?
Nick, nice to meet you, man.
It's my Youper friend up
It's
there.
the Youper friend.
What's happening, Bob?
Not too much.
Good. Let me just get you rocking and rolling there. There you go, brother.
What a ride.
What a ride.
Welcome to McHenry, man.
Yeah.
That's
Good to be
it.
here.
Oh.
Wow.
Big long
Awesome.
cruise for you, huh?
Yeah, I left last night at like 9.
Okay.
Then I got to Appleton.
Oh, yeah.
And my eyes started closing, so I got a hotel and jumped back on the road at 5, and here we are.
Here we
It's
are.
good that you had the wherewithal to actually pull over. Most people be like, I can keep going, have a coffee.
You still-
I don't mess with that.
Yeah, you still got a little way to go from Appleton.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The goal was Oshkosh last night, but I was like, nope, I'm tired. Time to pull over.
That's
Time
right.
to pull over. Yeah, for sure. You don't want to risk it at
No,
all.
no.
At all. Well, we certainly appreciate you checking in with us today,
Yeah, for
stopping
sure.
by to chat. We were just actually starting to talk about the golf outing today. Are you going to be golfing or just riding?
Oh, no, I'll be golfing. I'll be
Okay.
smacking some balls. I don't know where I'll be hitting them, but
Did you
do all
remember
right.
your clubs?
I remember my clubs, but it seems my friend stole my driver. So,
You're kidding.
yeah. He just wanted to try it out and then never got it back to me.
That's a
but
true
Yeah.
friend right there,
Yeah.
right? They steal it,
Well,
and maybe
he
they'll
golfs.
give it back.
He
Yeah.
golfs a lot. I don't golf so much. And it's a nice driver.
Where's my concrete saw? Oh, yeah. Bob's got it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
so,
the truth.
Gold medalist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Guilty.
That's
That's
absolutely
cool.
amazing,
That's
right?
cool.
I mean,
What a ride. Eh?
Right.
in the era of royalty right now.
Yeah.
Olympian royalty.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people can honestly say that? I mean, that's the amount of work and time and effort that you
Yeah.
guys put into that to do that. I don't think most people even
No.
remotely have any idea what
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, but it's like anything. If it's something you love and you're passionate about it, yeah, there's a lot of work that goes in, but I'm happy to do it. And it's been quite a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
And you've been to how many Olympics?
4 Olympics.
4.
wow.
Yeah, no medals until I was 40. How crazy is
So
That just shows never give up, right?
that?
I
Right,
mean,
if that doesn't tell you that you don't know, you never know, and just
Yeah.
keep going, keep chasing what you want.
especially
out of
with
life
what
is-
you're doing to be 40 years old and actually grabbing a gold medal. I mean, the sport that you're in is really, it's a young buck sport for the most part, right?
Yeah, well, they say snowboarding is definitely a young man's sport. My sport, yeah, there's a little more longevity there, so you can do it a little bit longer. But I think we're paving.
Yeah, it's not like
new
mogul
roads
skiing,
here.
right? Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
mogul skiing where your knees are done at 20.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So born and raised in the UP,
Yeah, born and raised in the UP.
up in the UP. So
Up in the UP.
So we could sit here and talk because my the Kinney family, that's my mom's side of it,
All right, cool.
And so Pam and Pete Gasparini up there, that's my cousin. So we're up there on Ice Lake all the time. I'm just going to
check out and let these guys go all more.
And my mom was born up there on Ice Lake in the old gas station. That was the old log cabin gas station that was there.
Oof, that must be before my time. I know Ice Lake. Spent a lot of time there.
No, yeah. So it's probably been knocked down for a long time, but so I go up there, we go up there. I didn't get up there this year, usually up there for the rodeo, the parade, all that good stuff all the time. So
it's a good spot. The UP's a hidden gem in the world.
It is.
COVID is making people find it.
Making people find the outside,
find the outside and get away from the cities a little bit. It's nice to have a break once in a while. I enjoy where I live for sure.
I don't think a lot of people even realize actually how just remote in a lot of respects the UP is, but it's so beautiful because it's the way it was meant to be. It's quiet, it's natural, you know.
A little bit of God's country up there.
Yeah, a little bit of God's country up there. I mean, you don't, seeing, a bunch of running cars down the road is pretty
few
and far between.
Except when it snows in July.
Yeah, right. Traffic jams are absolutely non-existent.
That's right. A snowboarder loves it. Like, yes. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Everyone blames me for every bad weather, early or late storm, and I'm like, they're like, you wanted this. I said, I'll find the snow. I'll go find it where I need to. It doesn't need the snow at home, and I'd prefer it not to.
Right. Yeah. So growing up in that area, was it always a dream to be an Olympian? Come on in, man. Grab a seat, brother. How are you?
Have a seat.
How are you doing, brother?
Have a seat, man.
Have a seat. Hey, I'm Scott. Nice to meet you. Mike, nice to meet you.
What up, Louie?
Nice Mike, how are you guys?
All right, guys, have a seat. Introduce yourselves. Yeah. You're only a couple minutes late. That's all right. We're just talking with Nick, trying to figure out.
No. Here.
Yesterday, I was trying to hang out with him yesterday. It's hard to get Nick Baumgartner in the scene. So
is that it?
You got to take advantage of it.
We thought it was kind of easy, right? I mean, we didn't do a whole lot.
That's because you're special.
Well, don't tell anybody that, but I appreciate that.
Know somebody. Getting Nick in here is tough nowadays. He's busy.
And he's actually kind of put together right now too. So he really got ready to come over here.
He's
actually
no mustache, no nothing.
I poured a concrete driveway yesterday. I jumped in the truck at 9:00, made it to Appleton before I started falling asleep. Slept in these clothes at the hotel and jumped in the car at 5 a.m. and just to beat you guys here. It's a race, man.
Everything's a race.
Motocross is going to race, man.
Always.
I'm a half piper, man. I don't go fast.
So where were you guys coming from this morning?
Across the street.
Oh, you were at the Hampton.
I came from Utah. That's where I flew in yesterday. Was from Utah.
Oh, nice. I was just in Zion National Park. I can't think of the town what it's in.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. We did Angel's Landing. So.
Oh, sick. Utah is great because you can within 3 hours you can be in the mountains and snow, or you can be in the red rocks and arches, and it's like a completely different landscape within 3 hours.
Well, we took a day trip from Vegas to run over there to do the Angel's Landing.
There you go.
I didn't want to leave.
I know normally people would think it's the other way around. I'm in Vegas. I don't want to leave Vegas and I want to go to Utah, but Utah's so beautiful. So I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no snow on the ground, unfortunately.
No.
Would have been nice if there'd been some snow.
It's coming soon, though. It's coming really soon out there.
They had snow in Copper Mountain, Colorado yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, up top in the mountains.
That's awesome. Makes me jealous. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I heard you guys are supposed to have a pretty cold and snowy winter.
Who knows? Was that the Farmer's Almanac that lies to us about that?
Yeah. It's never wrong.
It's never wrong?
Never wrong.
Well, then I'm ready for a lot of snow. I guess I better get my skis all ready to roll.
Get your snow plowing going, because that's the crazy. I grew up in Ohio, so you guys have a little bit of a heavier snow than I have in Utah. So Utah now, I don't mind shoveling; it's super light. But
out
in the Midwest, it's a lot heavier. You get a little more.
It depends. Yeah, we'll get it.
In there.
Yeah, stuff can be like slush some days. It's absolutely crazy. So you're obviously snowboarding as well.
Yep.
How long you been doing it?
I've been snowboarding since I was 5 or 6, but like I said, I grew up in Ohio, and then winter of 8th grade and all of high school, I went to a snowboard boarding school in Vermont.
Snowboard boarding school?
Yeah.
Wow. Get out of the house, kid. Where are you going? Snowboarding school. Awesome.
I went going to snowboarding school, right. But it was good. It was my mom was happy because I got a good education from it. I was happy because I got to snowboard a full season instead of the Ohio winter season. Malin coached me there for a bit at Stratton Mountain School, and then I moved to Utah after that, and been in Utah since 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, That's good.
That's awesome.
And he's so humble and made the U.S. team and went to a couple Olympics and won an X Games medal.
Yeah.
You know, done some cool things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
I mean, what got you into it? Just
my grandpa thought skiing was a good thing for our family to do as an activity because I live 5 minutes from the hill. And one day my dad and I saw snowboarding. We're like, that looks pretty cool. Let's try it out. And then I really lucked out because my dad fell in love with snowboarding and had a passion before I knew what that meant. So anytime I said, let's go snowboarding, he's like, okay. And so we started.
Don't twist my arm.
Yeah, I know. So I lucked out big time.
What's that?
You're that guy.
I'm that guy somewhat, but not so much with snowboarding. I'm not as good snowboarding. I'm really good at skiing. Snowboarding, I can make it down the hill and usually not break my butt.
See, I'm one of those people, as long as you're out on the mountain, out doing things, it's like, because wintertime is so easy to not be outside. It's cold, it's snowy, it's this. But when you're at least on the mountain, you don't really notice things. You're just having a good time. And I prefer that than summertime because summertime I'm hot. Wintertime, you can always get warm. I like the snow. So.
See, I just like to go. I like all seasons, but on the summertime, we'll just go out on the boat.
Okay,
and you
well,
can jump
I
in
don't
the water
have a
and
boat,
get
so that's
cold.
a good one. I went to Powell, so Lake Powell was my one boat time I'm on the lake a year, and I do love being on the boat.
Where's that at?
Lake Powell, so it's on the edge of Utah and Arizona. It's massive, and you normally do houseboats out there. Get a houseboat, have a wakeboard boat or something, and then you just dock it, and then you just kind of rip from that home base.
And sometimes you have helicopters. And
Yeah, we jumped from a helicopter this year, which was really fun.
Well, I need to hang with these guys. Jump from helicopters. I love
Yeah, we had 6 houseboats, so 7 houseboats, so about 50 so people.
Holy cow! And these are all boarders or something they have to do.
We
with
have three musicians. Dustin Lynch, who's playing tonight at the festival, he's there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he comes out, and then we have a couple wakeboarders, snowboarders. Sometimes we have some skateboarders, BMX. So a kid that does Nitro Circus. My girlfriend's a pro golfer. So we have quite an assortment of people, and it's kind of the one time we all hang out. And
I forgot they forgot to send my invite.
I was going to say,
I totally missed it.
Huh?
You're not inviting border.
But I'm getting.
Yeah.
Well, he's too fast. We go slow. We keep a slow pace. But wake surfing's my new thing because it's very, very mellow on the impact when we fall.
That's a big hot thing out here on the chain of lakes. Here we've got it's called the chain of lakes. Like literally, you can get on a boat and go from all the way up into Wisconsin, all the way down.
So sick.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's the most licensed boat per capita in the United States as far as size of the lake and everything.
That is so cool.
Yeah. It's nice, except on like Saturdays and Sundays or even late Friday nights. Sometimes it can get a little hectic out there. It's like
you
traffic
fish?
jam. I throw a rod in the water. I don't know if I could call it fishing.
Yeah, but
I'm really good at fishing. I suck at catching.
Okay. I've been getting into fishing, so that's why I'm like, anytime we talk about water, I'm like, did you go fishing? How was it?
Were there any bass there?
Yeah,
we got plenty of fish in there. We got a lot of people that fish out there on the chain.
That's so cool though, that you can just rip so far from like you said, one lake and just take it all the way down.
Lake to lake to lake and just keep going. It's a nice, comfortable way to relax. But houseboating, that would be kind of cool. Never done that. Yeah.
I think it's insane. They like put you on the boat. Like, okay, here's a boat. We'll back it up out of the docks. Okay, this is go. This is this. All right, have a good one. And then they leave. And then so like anybody can just drive this gigantic houseboat. It's kind of baffling.
Coffee, right?
No, I'm good.
Coffee.
I would take half a cup if you got one.
I'll brew one up for you.
You gonna brew it up? All right.
Brew it up.
Wow, this is
Man.
some
This
nice
hospitality.
service.
Well, thanks for having
Well,
us.
I would take water.
That's how we do it here in McHenry.
That's
216.
awesome.
So you are getting caught in the net this morning. 216 to net. We're sitting here talking to a bunch of Olympians here. Came in to grace us with their presence. They're going to be in town. Well, I'm assuming today and tomorrow at least for the USASA golf outing at the McHenry Country Club here on John Street. If you guys have time, I believe they still have. I don't know if we have any openings.
We've got
still.
room for a couple of teams. They're teeing
more
off
teams,
at
okay.
10 o'clock, so there's still time to sign up.
All right.
They can just come on down. We'll plug them right in.
Yeah. You can come on out, and if you want to golf, great. We've got a few in there. Otherwise, they do have a lot of really good silent raffles. And are they doing a live auction as well, or is it all just silent?
There's a silent auction you can view. You can go to the website, www.usasa.org, and you can click on a link there. And then also at the end of the Golf Scramble today, we are doing a live auction. There's a bunch of these guys have donated a bunch of items, Olympic gear, U.S. team.
Yeah, we've got
items.
amazing list
You
of
got the
stuff.
list, right?
Yeah,
What's on there?
Oh God, just you name it. I mean, a bunch of stuff like Yeti Ramblers. We've got Sun Mountain carry bags. We've got Dancing Flamingo leather blade putter cover. Hey, there you go. I mean, they go all the way up. Yeah, that's something you got to put in your bag.
For sure.
Third page.
Yeah, I was going to say that's where the big stuff is, but they've got stuff like a foursome of golf at Tamarack Golf Club in Naperville, or you can go to Yorkville. They're sending you to Arizona, a foursome of golf at the golf club at Dove Mountain in Arizona. Wow, that's just incredible. I mean,
Costa Rica.
Yeah, they're sending you to Costa Rica. They're sending you to Weston, Florida. I mean, holy crap. You got a bid on this stuff. Come on in. You know, for anyone that's just checking in with this, I don't know, a lot of people don't realize, but our government does not help support our our people aspiring to be Olympians. You know, you guys have to pay for all of your training up front, or, you know, out of your own pockets, which is just kind of blows my mind. We're the only country that doesn't help out our Olympians. And that's what the USASA is for, is to raise these funds, right, to help everyone train and get equipment and make it to these events, correct?
Yeah, so we primarily focus on the grassroots events that help support these athletes. So guys like Nick and Louie, that's where they got started.
That's where it all started.
Where did it start for you,
The
Nick?
Superior Series up in the UP. That's what got me into snowboard competing. And without USASA, my life looks a lot different, and it's probably not as fun.
And it's kind of cliche to say that, I feel, but it's so true, because that's how I started as well in Ohio. We had the Snow Ohio series. And then, you know, if I went to Pennsylvania to Seven Springs, I would do the Mid-Atlantic series. If I went up to Petoskey in northern Michigan, I would do their series. So it's kind of like you can just go to the different areas and the series are there. And then when you go to nationals, you meet the kids from Tahoe, from out west, from Vermont, everywhere like that. And then a lot of those kids that I competed with, I either am still friends with today or still competing with today. But that's how so many of us got into competing. That's how so many of us, you know, really became friends and started traveling together. It becomes your family away from your family.
Right.
And then go to Junior Worlds with them, Olympics with them. I qualified for my first X Games through USASA. So it really, I think most people really got their career jump started from USASA, from just learning to compete to really growing with the series, because they have age groups all the way up to open class, where it's kind of you're just on the cusp of making it into, you know, Grand Prix, X Games, Olympics, but you're still kind of right in the middle there, and they cater to all learning types. My dad competed with me. My dad was in the older group, I was in the younger group, and we would go to nationals together. So you're never too young or too old to compete at USASA, and it's just a like-minded community. And like Baum said, he wouldn't be here because if without it, and I wouldn't be here without it, because
you guys would just be, I mean, you know, typical human beings, right? I mean, that love to do something, that love to snowboard, but you wouldn't have the opportunity to step up and become Olympians, because without that financial support, I mean, if people don't know, I mean, snowboarding, skiing, and all that outdoor activities it's expensive,
and it's going up,
and it's right, like everything else, it's going up. I mean, just equipment alone is, you know, depending on what you buy, but I mean, just basic equipment, you could be, you know, $600, $700, $1,000 for just basic equipment. You know, because you got to get clothing, you got to get the boards, the boots, the whole 9 yards. And so, I mean, without that, not everybody can afford to put that much money. Then you got to pay for lifting.
Your boots.
What's that?
You can always have Dana Wilson give you the boots.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're never too old to get boots just sent from Dana out here.
Never.
Oh, yeah. That's a funny story. So my boots blew up just before the Olympics, and I could not find another pair. And I was like, Dana can find them. I'm going to put Dana on this. She's calling around, and they're saying no. And she's like, listen, do me a favor. I know you said no, but can you, like, check every back closet? And this guy called back and said, you're not going to believe it. In the back closet, there's your 9.5s. And then I get these boots in the mail, and they got messages written all over them on the bottoms. If you see this, if you can read this, pull me out of the snow. It just, we love you, and all this cool stuff. And I was like, oh, all right, I like that.
Were these used boots?
Brand new boots, but they wrote all over them, and those are the ones. So at the Olympics, if anyone caught and looked down, they're like, what in the heck is all over your boots?
This is internet radio, so if you also, you know, you can't have a potty mouth here, just so you know. I saw you struggling with not throwing that one.
Yeah, you can drop the F-bomb.
You can drop the F-bomb here.
My dad has radio stations, so I'm like so cautious about that, because I know if one somebody slips up, he's getting a phone call. Like, hey.
We don't even need sound delay here. We can just let it rip.
But you know what's crazy though is what we've learned is if it wasn't for Dana, Baum wouldn't have won a gold medal at the Olympics is what I get out of that story.
I mean, the foundation starts down at the bottom.
Everything starts from the feet. So.
Well, you need that support, right?
And if you think about our sports in the United States, someone's headed to the Olympics to compete for a medal. And by the way, he won a gold medal.
Right? Yeah,
cross, right? Like, can we just give it up? Yeah. And with all the industry and all the people and all the money flowing around in these sports, that it takes a phone call to a USASA series director to land a pair of boots.
Yeah. But that shows
to get a piece of equipment that is absolutely necessary.
Well, that's awesome. They got your back, right?
Yeah. And if that doesn't tell you that this is the right organization to get kids started, and I mean, they still care about me. They still want to be a part of it. They're still helping me in my career.
And you're not a typical spring chicken that's getting into this either, which is awesome.
Yeah, I started competing in USASA. I was a little late to the game, probably about 16 years old, and I'm 40 now. So it's been a minute.
Bomb.
I know you. 25. He's had a hard life.
I know it's
a snowboarder's life.
40, and I know it's been asked, and I've seen you working out pretty hard, but I'm guessing 4 more years, buddy.
Well, we're gonna try. Obviously, at 40, 4 years is like a dog years. Who knows what's gonna happen? Yeah. But I'm focused towards 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
World Championships this year are in Bakarani, Georgia, in Western Asia, and I'm super fast on that track, and my whole life's been about not living with regret. So I know that if I don't try for that, and I know that I'm fast on that track and I could win even at 41, I'll always think about it and I'll always wonder. So I'm going to go out there.
Well, that's a great comment that you made there, and that's one thing here at DDOE. Our station is called DDOE, Daily Dose of Encouragement, right? So trying to put out to the world, hey, don't give up, keep going, keep pushing, no matter what you're doing, who you are, where you're at, right? So when you say that, that's a beautiful thing because as a society or just as people, I mean, it's so easy to want to give up, just to fold up, right? Yeah. I mean, especially these days with how things are out there in the world, it's just, screw it, I'm done. What am I going to do? Well, whatever you can do, because I try to live without regret. I can't say I'm regret. Yeah. I don't have any because it's just, it's the way it is. But when something comes up, you ask Kent, something comes up that's goofy or whatever, I'm going to try it, just once because I don't want to be old. Well, because I'm getting older.
Yeah, he's 35.
I'm 35 and I've had a really hard life, but I don't want to, I try to live and teach through example. I do as I'm doing, not as I'm saying, because I'm really good at do what I say and not what as I do, but if you can do that and show kids that you can continually move forward and become better, no matter what age you're at. At 40 years old, most people wouldn't think you're a gold medalist, snowboarding and like, hey, why do I do it? Because I can. Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's really important for us to teach the younger generation.
Well, that was the first conversation we had. He won. Congratulations, everything like that. But so what's up? You're going to do another one? That was like, we had a conversation in China talking about that. And you're like, well, I'm doing pretty well right now. So
Sally Giles says, why does it cost our Olympians to compete?
What does it cost?
Why? Or what does it cost? Yeah, what does it cost?
Well, I think it depends on the sport and the season, really, because outside of the equipment, right, you have to travel. So, like, where I go to compete will be different than necessarily where he's going because border cross is kind of on a different circuit than half pipe. So
you're half pipe.
I'm half pipe.
Okay. I was going to ask. Okay.
I don't. You think I'm going to be on a racetrack with him? Are you kidding me?
Hey, you guys can be holding. You guys can be
get out of the way.
Well, you can be holding each other's butts. What was Dana's daughter's name?
Well, that's the thing, too, also to mention with, like, USASA, I grew up doing everything, like snowboard gates, snowboard border cross, snowboard half pipe, snowboard slope style, and that's the great thing. You can kind of find what you love doing that. We would do the overall. So, obviously, Bomb stuck with border cross. I stuck with half pipe as we got older. But, like, for me, so I might have a competition in Copper, Colorado. Then we might – okay, well, the only other half pipe right now is in Lach, Switzerland. We're going to go there a week before the contest. Well, that's flight, that's lodging, and that whole thing. Even during the COVID year, it was $400 in COVID testing for 2 events in the same place. Just for COVID testing, we had $400.
Which is just ridiculous.
Yeah. So
and no one picks that up. Other like USASA helps with that as well, or is that all on your own?
We're USASA is primarily focused at the lower level. So to speak to her question is that if you think about like Little League or hockey, you have resources in the community. There's a bunch of Little League fields and coaches and volunteers, much like us, set up the games and the practices. So if you think about a snowboard competition, you have to have a partnership with a resort and get the half pipe built or get the course built in order for athletes to have a place to train. And these programs that need to support the athletes to go into it. So there's no municipality that's building Little League fields or building border cross tracks for athletes in our sports. So that's where USASA steps in and works as the partners between over 100 ski resorts in the United States, made up with our 30 series across the country. And so if people are out playing golf today or donating, contributing to our cause, that's where those resources are going. Tents, fence, branding, all of the infrastructure that it takes to basically act like a town to support, to build a Little League field. But we're building these venues and partnering with
that
the resorts.
Melts.
Yeah, that melts.
They're not permanent.
And then you have to, great point. You have to do it again at the beginning of every season. So that's where the rubber meets the road, and we all combine. So through our 30 series, we end up hosting over 500 events each winter.
So those are just fundraising events, right?
So
you guys
no.
Competitions.
Competitions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's not like
slalom.
USASA is not necessarily paying for me or Bomb to go to events. So we look at it like USASA played such a big part in our careers, right? So we're kind of going back now and supporting USASA because they helped get us started. So for the next generation, because so much of USASA, like he was saying, comes down to the relationships with the mountain. Sometimes you might have to pay for those lanes and things like that. And it's difficult to work with the mountains because they're like, well, we have to give up this whole spot for a competition. Mm-hmm. So as a little kid, I could show up and, the series director for Snow, Ohio already had it set up. I just show up and the rails are set up, the fencing so you don't run into the chairlift, or safety precautions are set up, insurance is set up. So it's not USASA paying for the Olympians to go there, but they're at the grassroots level getting us into it.
They're getting they're getting it all put together and ready to go. You guys show up.
We don't receive any funding from the United States Olympic Committee. We're just a publicly funded,
which just blows my mind. That just blows my mind.
Organization that through donors and partners, we have a great partnership with Columbia Outerwear. Get out there and get your Columbia Outerwear for sure.
I love Columbia.
And organizations like that give us resources so that we can put on these competitions, because if there's no Little League fields out there, you're not going to have any Major League Baseball players. And if there's no snowboard and free ski competitions out there, we're not going to have
players all come from Venezuela.
Yeah. what's the old saying? If you build it, they will come, right? So if you guys get that system built,
that's what we're doing. We're 34 years now, and thanks to the efforts of all of our directors out there, we get to have opportunities for these guys, and it melts me every time I get to hang out with them, because when Louis was 12 years old and we were out there doing this for him, he's like, I want to go to the Olympics someday. And we just say, yeah, you can. And then I get to sit here and he's like, oh, I've been to 2,
So you got him at 12.
So, cool.
So let me ask you that was one thing I was kind of wondering is, like, what is the criteria? Like, let's say I've got a kid that wants to, join USASA. What do they do? I mean, what is their criteria? Do you have to have some good skills to start out with? Or can you just be brand new and say, I want to try this? How does that work?
You can just be brand new and try it. So if you go to our website, you can find a series near you and an event schedule that'll be posted shortly for this winter. We have athletes that have just started to compete, and we meet those kids right where they are. There's a whole network of coaches and support. You can just show up at an event all by yourself. Bring your mom, bring your dad. They can point you in the direction of the course, and we'll get you up there and show you what you need to do, even help you through your first couple of events. It's really user-friendly at the
such a strong community aspect. And I think, it's nice being here with you guys, because we're in the Midwest, right? And I think I can speak to a lot of people who it's not like you're in these big mountain towns out west where you're born and raised action sports. You're born and raised in the scene. And so for me, that's where I found really the snowboard community, because my dad and I would compete. Our series was at a Boss Mills Brandywine in Cleveland, and that's about a 3-hour drive from where I lived outside Columbus. So you found like-minded people. And then before you know it, every weekend it was like you were meeting up with your friends and family of your snowboard family and getting after it. And I think it's a great way to kind of find people that love it. Kids become friends. Like now they have someone to go snowboarding with. And again, it's all ages. I mean, there's how old's the oldest person competing at nationals? Let's say
Dick Schultz, he's 84 years old.
So I mean,
That's awesome.
and
Holy
it's sick
cow.
because it's not like they're like they're getting it.
Right.
And Eddie Wall, who's a pro snowboarder, his dad competed well after Eddie Wall was filming snowboard movies, not even competing. He was just filming snowboard movies. His dad was still competing in USASA every year.
Awesome.
We have 5-year-olds out there who compete regionally. They're not allowed to come to the national championships till they become 8 years old. But yeah, we've got all sizes. It's just crazy. It's fun.
It's a truly a community. And then once you go to if you qualify to nationals, you go there. Then it's like this is the gigantic family reunion. Because I remember being a kid from Ohio, like seeing these kids from Tahoe, like, oh my gosh, like these guys, they snowboard all the time. Their seasons are way longer than the ones in Ohio. They're like born and bred. They have sponsors. Me, I was middle of the pack every single year for a long time, but it was just, I was snowboarding with kids my age from all over the country. And now you have kids from all over the world that are still doing USASA nationals. And you're like, it's really big, but it's great to find people your age to snowboard with, because in the Midwest I feel like it's a little more difficult than if you're out west or in Vermont or something.
Yeah.
So we've partnered with the free ski community now. So free skiing is a lot of the same disciplines that we're doing in snowboarding. So free ski half pipe, free ski rail jam, free ski slope style. So like if you have children that are out there skiing or snowboarding and they're interested in competitive sports or just want to check it out, they can come on down and hang out, put on a bib, and have a great time at a competition. And who knows?
That's one of the most asked questions I get from people on social media reaching out to me. Hey, I want to get started. Where do I start? And I'm like, man, USASA. It's the one that works for everyone. You can always find a series close enough to go. And
where is there a series around here this winter?
So there's there's the Midwest Best Series,
which is going to be held where?
Is Dana's series. So they're at Little Swiss, Alpine. I'm not from here, so you got to help me with
Tyrol. I think they still go to Tyrol.
I don't know where Tyrol.
I
know Alpine's good. Alpine Valley, but I don't know where Little Miss is at.
Little Swiss.
Little Swiss.
Little
Swiss
Switzerland?
Miss Instant Cocoa.
Sure.
Wait.
I don't think.
Little Switzerland. It's up north. I can't even remember exactly.
I don't know all the resorts around here, but when you get connected on the website, you'll see it. So anywhere there's a collection of ski resorts, we have a series. And so if you click on that map over there, you'll see a little star. I don't think she has her schedule up yet. The series map. So if you're online and you're watching this is how you do it. You can click on that map. Yep, and then you go down, and so we're right about where that star is.
Yeah, right on the border. Yep.
So that's the Midwest Best Series. So you can see all across the country, we are anywhere that there is a bunch of ski resorts.
And the other thing is too, the people that are running these competitions are here to help. So
I don't think she has her resorts listed for this year, but there's all, like Louis said, it's usually we try to stay within a couple of hours driving distance so that kids you load up in the car. Sometimes families will come over on a Friday night, get a hotel room, or lots of times in the parking lot at 7:30 in the morning, putting the boots on and just coming up and getting up to the competition.
And I'll tell you what, in this Midwest Best Series, it's unbelievable to see how many kids come out. It is crazy. And just the group of parents at the bottom.
Yeah,
it's come a long way since when I first started up in the UP. It is pretty crazy.
That's cool. All right. So question for you two and you. At what point in your in this journey did you go, man, I think I can be an Olympian, right?
I just talked about this last night.
As a coach, at what point do you go, I think you could be?
I'll let these guys go.
Yeah. Two part.
Yeah.
So for me, when I started this journey, it was because of the X Games, watching the X Games, and I always tell people that it was. I guess I looked at it a little different. Rather than say those guys are so lucky they get to compete at the X Games and do that, I said, well, what if I got to train? Could I beat them? And that kind of changed my outlook on it. So I started focusing on trying to get to the X Games and trying to beat the Sean Palmers of the world. And that was the goal at the beginning. And then as soon as I started getting traction in this sport, they named it an Olympic sport in 2006. That happened in 2005. And I was like, wow. Because, when you're a kid, I don't care if you're in a sport that could bring you there, that would be so cool. And for me to see this, like I wasn't headed towards any Olympics, and then bam, it was thrown right in front of me. And I was like, this is incredible. And now this is my goal. And then I set my goal for 4 years out because I wanted to give myself some time to go. And 2010, I made it.
That's awesome.
And we got to go to the Olympics together.
Yeah. Mine was growing up in Ohio, I just loved to snowboard. I didn't even think about anything. I remember I got a sponsor, and that was like, I was on top of the world getting free T-shirts and like anything snowboarding related. Like if I would go to the book fair, and I would be like Sports Illustrated did some snowboarding magazine that, you know, probably only sold at book fairs. I bought everything. And then when I went to Stratton Mountain School in 2002, I got to go to watch the Olympics in Salt Lake because I had a friend who was a little wealthier that flew my dad and I with he and his family to watch the Olympics. So I got to watch the USA sweep and halfpipe. And Ross Powers, who won, he was from Vermont, went to Stratton Mountain School, was coached by the guy that was coaching me for my first year at Stratton Mountain School. And that was kind of like, oh, like I'm going to SMS. I have a coach now, and it's the same guy. And then I won nationals that year, and that's when it was like, oh my, like I'm actually not too bad at this because, like I said, I was middle of the pack my whole time, like not doing well. And that was where it opened up my eyes was seeing Ross win and then kind of being like, well, I'm kind of doing a lot of the things that he did. I could actually make it. So that's where it started, 2002 for me.
And Ross is actually right across the street. You'll see him today at the golf tournament. He won that gold medal, historic sweep, and he also won a bronze medal in the Nagano.
And what's he doing right now? He's actually one of the co-directors of Southern Vermont series for USASA.
He's running events and coaching the program that Louis.
And I give those three. So it was Ross Powers, Danny Cash, JJ Thomas, clean sweep USA in Salt Lake, and I think that really blew up snowboarding on the mainstream level. So I give a lot of credit to those three for some of the sponsorships that we have in snowboarding because they kind of put us on the map. Kelly Clark also winning. But it's crazy. You have an Olympic gold medalist who's iconic in our sport. He has one of the best photos from that Olympics in all sports, and he's a co-director of USASA.
I would say the best method ever until maybe last year in Beijing. First hit,
watching him drop
like that first hit lasted.
But he's co-directing a USASA series. So I mean, it's like
completely giving back.
We talk about you go to the series, they'll help you. Like you have Ross Powers who gives his time. He sees the importance of USASA. I mean, he's coaching. He's got so much going on, but he makes time. And then he'll imagine showing up to your first event and you have a gold medalist being like, all right, let me help you out here at your first event. Yeah. Do you know what you're doing? I can help you in this. Yeah. It's like, wow.
Well, I know you've only got a couple minutes left because you got to get over to the event.
Yeah,
so
we got to get these guys warmed up.
Give us wrap up.
So I got to answer the question. Yeah. So when do you know for an athlete? I have been running the USASA as the executive director for 7 years. I retired from a 19-year coaching career. And when I first started coaching, I thought that I would always know the best kid when I saw it. And in my early years coaching, I played D1 hockey in New England growing up. And I had this school of thought of the best kids got all of the attention. I was pretty good at hockey. And so I always had coaches and people talking to me. Yeah. And so when I started coaching, I had that same mentality. It was just sort of ingrained in me. At about year 4 or 5, an older coach, he was a ski race coach, sat me down and said, hey, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. And I said, well, what's that? And he said, see all those other kids over there? That's where the Olympian is. And I was like, and it still gives me goosebumps today. And so from that point on in the coaching career, and to answer your question, I think this is great for parents and great for coaches out there in sport. The job is to give every kid a level opportunity and try to teach all of them that if you work hard, if you can control the things you can control. I would always be like, did you make your bed? Did you eat the best meal? Did you work out hard? Have you taken care of your equipment? And if you've taken care of all of those things, who knows?
The basics, right?
The basics. And that is the focus. And still, even this day, when these guys go on to the Olympics, that's what they're really thinking about. They're not thinking about front page of the paper and I'm going to win this medal, because that's the last thing you need to be thinking about when you're dropping out of the gate.
Maybe I did my first Olympics, but I've learned a lot.
But that's
Just make it to the bottom, right?
That's what it is. And so the amazing thing that happens when you're mentoring young people, when they see in sports that they've got the same opportunity, maybe they haven't started to grow as quick. Maybe they're not as fast as that other guy. But if a coach meets them the same with everybody on the team, and I think you're seeing more examples of that now in the United States, that's where you get it. And for me, if I have a kid, he could be the slowest one, he could be not being able to do as many sit-ups or whatever, and he says, I want to be that, or I want to go there, that's all you need. That's it. And you can, and that's it, because you never know. So for me to know,
right, to help them push a little bit harder,
you
right?
kind of know it when you see it, when they get a little bit old. When I see it a little bit older, and you can be like, okay, there's like a little special something there. But in the beginning, I think it's just important that all kids get a fair shake at it, and let them decide how hard they want to work at it. Let them decide if they're going to put in the effort.
Well, and you can train.
It's those ones that maybe don't seem like they would be the ones that are going to learn how to work harder. To be that one that's already got that talent that doesn't care because.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think Baum and I can really relate is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, and it's cliche, right? But it's so true, because I mean, where he grew up, where I grew up, like our seasons are so short. We don't have access to these world-class half-pipe or border cross training facilities, but we loved it and we wanted to work hard. We had that Midwest mentality,
you found a way.
That blue-collar chip on your shoulder, and like, okay, well, I want to be the hardest worker on and off the snow. So, I mean, I was middle of the pack the whole time, and I'm going to competing against these kids from Tahoe, and I'm like almost frightened, because I'm like, my season starts after Christmas. My season ends early March. These kids have been snowboarding all the time. They have sponsors. They have all this. My dad got me a snowboard 3 years ago for my birthday, and I'm still running it, but I loved it, and I wanted to get better. And you find maybe an older kid or a kid your age, and you can just ride and push each other, and it doesn't matter. I mean, and at the end of the day, Olympics or no Olympics, Apollo Ono is like a mentor and friend of mine, and it's all about enjoying the journey of it. The Olympics are cool, but that's
I think that's a big thing. It's the process. It's the journey, because everybody, I mean, me included, for many years, I mean, it's about the destination, right? Getting to where you need to be. But once you get there, it's like, well, what's next? Right?
I want to be an Olympic champion, but
enjoying the journey, and what he was talking about also just can fit into every person's life, right? Did you wake up? Did you make your bed? Did you work hard? Did you work out? Did you eat right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a snowboarder, a skier, a bricklayer, cement guy, whatever. Well, if you're pushing yourself, and
it's amazing. Like, going to the Olympics is amazing. It's priceless. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. But at the same time, like, I could sit here and tell you way more stories about how we got there, the last season, the grind that it took to get there. Those are the memories. The Olympics happen so fast. I mean, his runs are quick.
The Olympics is the culmination of all that really big hard work. But it's like,
it's all the stuff that happened before is really, to me, the special moments. Yeah. The Olympics is an enjoyment, but everything before that is a testament to. And
how long did it take? How long did it take you to realize that, instead of just focusing on the Olympics, instead of going, "Hey, I'm going to enjoy the practice. I'm going to enjoy everything leading up to it."
After 2010 for you, Bob, probably?
After 2010, I think, for me.
I would say for sure. I think because everyone, like, I want to be an Olympic champion, but, well, do you want to work out 7 days a week? Do you want to put that grind in? But I like to think, at that time in 2010, I like to think that it wasn't overwhelming and whatnot. You want to be like, oh, no, I got this. But yeah, you walk into that and you're like, holy cow.
No, you can say those words that you were thinking.
Well, I try not to.
That's okay. We respect that. Yeah. We respect that. We drop a few here and there during the shows.
Well, we know you guys got to run. We're going to see you out at the golf course. I'm going to be out there around noon, but you're going to be there. Right.
Yeah. We're on our way there now. We're going to pick up Ross and the gang, and we're headed down over there.
And it's great because you can come out and play. And if you ever have any question about your golf game, just come and watch me, and then you'll be 100 times better than me, and I'll make you feel like Tiger Woods out there. So.
Oh, so y'all put all your balls out into the rough, huh?
So
that's why I bring my girlfriend's a pro golfer, so that's why I have her to make me. I get like
playing with you today.
So I can show that a girl can kick my butt.
It's like secondary bragging. I'm like, that's my girlfriend right there, smoking everybody.
On hole number 1, one, we're chipping marshmallows and we're giving away cash. So
there we go.
Fun for you.
Great. I can't wait to see you guys out there.
I like that, giving away cash.
You want what you do? You take those marshmallows and you go throw them all over the course. And then everyone can't find their balls.
Just lob them out in the fairway. We'll go do that too.
All right. Before you guys go, though, sign the 216 in that banner over there for me.
Absolutely.
We will.
And
I'm a huge fan of you guys.
And I'd love to get a picture of them.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much for having us today.
It's not on.
This one right
It's not
here.
on social media or anything like that.
Social
Yeah.
media.
Oh, that's true.
Right
That's
here?
true.
Yeah, anywhere you want to on there, Mom.
But I we always appreciate it, and for us, it's like we've been to the Olympics. That's cool, but it's now we feel like I have a really strong voice, and this is how I got started, USASA.
Yeah.
So it's cool just for you guys to even take the time to listen to the
We're
grassroots
honored.
part more than the Olympic part, because this is so
Anyway,
important to us.
Yeah.
Again, the journey, the process.
Well, no, we're honored that you guys came here. You know, anything we can do to help out, help you guys out. I mean, I'm still in awe of the fact that we don't support or help in any way, shape, or form as a country, right?
That's why they snowboard people.
That's why they still the attention span is there.
Huh?
What?
That's it. But-
Squirrel.
But yeah, to me, it's amazing. I understand speed. I think you do too. I don't understand flipping and flying.
I'd love to, but I'd love to flip
I
and
don't
fly.
know, I don't know what goes through your head that goes, I don't know, let me try a 1.5 with 3 twists.
Right, a McTwist.
Well, I'll tell you
Look
what.
at you with the lingo.
I
I'll
got
tell you
some
what,
1080s.
I think what's helped me be successful in snowboard cross is that I started in USASA doing every discipline.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm not as good of a snowboard cross racer without being able to huck off of a jump and
Yeah.
learning all that stuff. That air awareness, everything you got to do makes you so much better.
Air
And like I'd
awareness,
imagine learning how to turn around a gate is very key for turning through a half pipe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's just these things that you get. And if you want to be the best snowboarder in one discipline, get out there and learn them all.
That goes for all kids in all sports.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
early,
just life.
early specialization
Yeah.
is not the best way to get better at something. You got to get out there and play a bunch
Gotta
of
go
different
general-
Plus, you
general
find what you like, what you don't like. Like
Yeah, and
baseball
in life,
wasn't for
too,
me.
you know, like,
Yeah,
It
well,
was
that's
too slow. I feel like any sport that has an ending designated to stretching is normally not good for my ADHD and my energy level. So I had to find a sport that was a little more intense there. And
Well, that's what's cool is not everyone's a football player, baseball player, doing these mainstream sports like that. Snowboarding is cool in the way that it allows people to come out and just express themselves.
Yeah.
It gives them another avenue, and I think it's less intimidating.
when it's
more
never the
fun.
same either. You know what I mean? When you're playing like football or baseball, the fields are pretty
Yeah.
much the same, right? I mean,
Everything
You show
is
up,
getting on
everyone's,
snow.
oh yeah,
Right, yeah, right.
I'm the best. And
you get on
snowboarding is
snow,
like
it could have
a
been
fun
cold that night
community.
before.
you
It's
can make
icy.
the same course,
But
make the
that's how
same
it
half
is.
pipe, and
I
it's
don't
never
wanna
the
race
same.
And snowboarding's not like that. Snowboarding's a community where we all just
Yeah.
want to have fun and get as many people involved as we can.
Go as fast as you can.
Not
And like I
just-
said,
I wanna go
it's a
fast, Daddy.
family. It
Yeah.
truly is like I said, I don't see Bomb as much during the winter because our tours are different. But at the Olympics, like we go back so far, and it's all love, it's all family, and you want to see your friends do well. And it doesn't matter. And I don't care what kind of snowboarding you do. I mean, you want to hit gates, you want to just go cruise the mountain, you want to go do whatever. But as long as you're out there on a snowboard, enjoying it, and kind of sharing your passion with other people is what I like the most about snowboarding.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is
There's
awesome.
no right or wrong. You do however you want to do it, and it's okay.
As long as you make it down the hill.
Well, sometimes
Sometimes
you
you won't. You got to pay to play.
don't.
Well, no, you'll eventually
sometimes you
make
get
it down,
a
but
ski
it might
patrol
not be
sled to
pretty.
take you down, but you make it there
Or a
eventually.
helicopter if you got
Yeah.
a nice scenic area.
Yeah.
I try to avoid that at all costs, especially with me getting a little bit older. But
I do
I-
as well, but
I still enjoy it quite a bit. I just don't do as many crazy things as I used to. But we still love to ski. Like I love Vail is my best place out there. Is
Yeah.
Vail, ski of the back bowls and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I'm so jazzed now. I want to go. Can we go? They got snow out in Vail yet?
it's just starting, but yeah, the season's coming up quick. So
I love Vail too because it stops everyone from going up towards Aspen where my brother lives, and we got more place to ourselves.
Is that what it is? Okay. I haven't been to Aspen in years.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh my God! I appreciate you guys stopping in today.
Yeah,
We'll
thanks
see you
so
out.
much
We'll
for
see you
having
out
us.
there.
Yeah,
Can we
thank
get a
you.
photo?
Yeah. You guys want to grab a photo real quick?
Yeah.
All right. Who's standing?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh my God.
Here, why don't you guys get with, and I'll get one with your
You'll
phone,
hit
and
it?
you can get one with me. And
Make
is that
me
right?
in
got
the
it.
middle so I look tall.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah,
Suck
we're
it
talking
in.
about different sizes.
Hold on.
I'm not playing
Suck
basketball.
it in.
but-
Get your
Let me
good
stand in
size.
the back so I don't look fat.
All right, Nick Baumgartner, Louis Vito, thanks so much, guys. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Got it.
Snow.
Awesome.
We're supposed to say snow.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Can you get
Yep,
one with
let
this?
me get you in there. Awesome. So this makes great radio while we're taking pictures.
Yeah, we're taking.
Thanks,
which
everybody.
is cool. So, bang. There it is.
All righty.
Awesome.
And nowadays it's hard because you guys are streaming too, so you can't say
I know.
I have a face for radio anymore. It's
Well,
kind
we-
of changed
that's
a
why I
little
said
bit.
that.
I have a face for radio, so we're back, guys. And so,
Yeah. That's why I sit back here.
Yeah.
yeah, he normally sits up here with me. We wanted to make sure we get you guys in there.
Absolutely.
So,
All right, we're
That-
gonna
well, we'll see-
USASA.org.
Awesome,
Come to
yeah.
McHenry
Yeah.
Country Club if you got time today.
Yep.
And I'll help you feel better about your golf game.
and
There you
and
go.
if you don't have time to get out there today, go to the website. You can go
Yeah.
ahead and donate to
donate.
usasa.org and just understand, people, that it's a little bit that we can give, that we can help people such as these guys. You guys never
Absolutely.
would have made
Yeah.
it to where you're at without USASA helping.
And
With your
the-
help, we can make
And the
sports
silent
stories like
auction,
these.
the silent auction is open and going. You don't have to attend the event for the silent auction. You can bid right online, which is great. So if you want to get that Costa Rica trip or the
Oh my
whiskey and golf to Tennessee, just go right online, usasa.org. And you can just go and it'll give you a link right to it. So absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll
We'll
see
see
you
you later.
there. Have a good one. Appreciate it. Well, that was amazing, huh?
That is
How blessed are we to have 3 of those people come in? Just unbelievable.
That is probably one of the neatest grounds we've had.
Yeah.
These guys, growing up, and I'm sure you're the same way, the Olympics still today even unite the United States of America.
I like
When
it.
when the Olympics are going, everybody's pulling for the red, white, and blue. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on or what you believe in.
Right.
Everybody's like,
Yeah, it
man.
doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, but you're
Right.
rooting for the U.S.
So we've got these Olympic medalists. We got these guys who represent our country and bring us together. And how cool is that? I mean, it's just so neat to I've watched these guys. Because
Right, to know that
my family gathers around and we watch the Olympics,
Yeah.
figure skating, downhill, all of it, the luge, the skeleton, everything out there. And you're always pulling for America.
Right.
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 And these are the guys that are there
Right.
and doing it.
And the
doing
nice thing about it is they're just everyday people like
God,
you
they're
and I,
so-
right? You
yeah.
don't even realize
Yeah,
you're
they would-
walking right next to them. I mean, it's like
all 3 of them are guys that,
Yeah.
hey, let's go grab a beer, just hang out in the backyard.
right, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that they're just people too, right? I
Ah.
mean, they're just doing something
Yeah.
that's more in your eye,
Yeah.
more publicly recognized. So,
Yeah.
and to help support people like that, and to help support kids that are up and coming, that can keep them moving forward and keep them looking forward to life instead of just
Yeah.
thinking that life's unfair.
And
do what you want.
And I love because I coach youth basketball,
Right.
and I love what he said because that's what I do. Everybody's on the same level, right?
Right. Well,
And-
you can't. Yeah. You
And we
can't
train them the
favor-
same way, and that upsets some parents sometimes.
Right, because
But-
their kids deserve more, right?
But in seventh, but in 7th grade, you might be the smallest person there and the weakest, and all of a sudden in the 11th grade, you're the biggest and strongest.
Right.
And
You just never know.
why
where
would
they're
I
gonna go.
discourage a kid?
Right.
So you just never know.
Well, a perfect example of that is, you can't do that to kids. Look at Michael Jordan. How many people told him he would never be?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Look at him now. You know what I mean?
I don't necessarily like. I mean, if
But I mean, his
if I sat
story.
down and had a cigar with Mike, I'm sure he and I would be friends.
Right. But his story,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because he was told by, what was it, high school and college, that now find something else.
Yeah.
And he was so determined to do it. And
Yeah.
that's
Well-
important to have that's important to have a coach in life, whether it's for sports or just life itself, right? To help push you to better yourself and keep you on a level playing field.
I think you need mentors. I think you need
Right. Well, mentors, coach. I kind of use those
Yeah.
as the same.
I don't, because I don't like people who say I'm a life coach. You have trouble with your own life.
Well, you know what? That's true. That is true.
let me help you. Let me help you be good.
Yeah, my life is horrible, but I'm going to tell you what you should do, even though I'm not doing it. Right.
Right. It's like
Most parents.
It's like a country coming into a place that doesn't have democracy and say, "Hey, we've got democracy. You should try it." And they look at that country and go, "Yeah, no." I don't know."
You look at the
Right?
United States. That's
I'm
not
a-
working well for you guys.
I'm a life coach,
Yeah.
I've got a 1972 Vega, that
there
I live
more,
in.
There are more and more of those popping up too.
Vegas?
No.
Oh,
The life coaches. The life coaches.
Right.
I can't make it on my own, but I'll teach somebody. But that's really important, though, what they were saying and what you were bringing
so
up.
True.
Is just treating them all the same to allow them to grow and to flourish and to become who they are through your support, allowing them to be who they are and to make the mistakes that they need to make and to encourage them, be like, hey, that's the way it is. It happens, I mean, as people, as humans, as parents, I mean, I think a lot of us don't push hard enough in that respect or don't understand that, right? I mean, how just to try to treat everybody on an even playing field. We're always, this kid's better, give them more attention, but you don't know what the future holds for them.
Yeah, that's you don't know, right? Do they fall to addiction? Do they say, well, I'm tired? My philosophy is always this, is that you have so many turns, it's your turn so many times. You have so many. So in basketball, I always say you have so many shots in your legs.
Right.
Right. And at some point, like Kobe Bryant and all the greats, there's going to be a last game. You don't know when that, you don't necessarily know when that is.
Right.
It might be when you're 10 and you're done. You're like, well, I've given all the shots I want.
Yep.
It might be, like you, Tom Brady, and you're 46 or whatever, however old he is, and he's still got football in his legs, So right. you never know your time. So if you can focus and push and have fun doing it and enjoy it instead of making yourself miserable, a lot of what we see out of these guys and what I love is not Louis, of course, shared the passion with his dad, but his dad wasn't trying to live the dream through Louis.
Right.
I see that as a coach so many times. The parents, oh, my kid, and you just see the kids miserable. I had a conversation with a young lady, and I'm like, hey, why do you play basketball? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like,
my mom and dad want me to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I think a lot of parents are actually guilty of that because maybe it's something they didn't do when they were a kid, so they want to kind of push them. I mean, I was guilty of that to a certain point. I mean, but I mean, I pushed my kid to try different sports, and if he liked it, he liked it. If he didn't, he had to finish that season out.
Yeah.
And then not go back. Yeah. Right. But I mean, you can at least say that you've tried. You have tried it. You didn't like it. It wasn't because, things were out there. It's just, hey, it was it. And that's the thing in life. Just take chances, try different things. And, eventually, you might be 60. I mean, look at Baum. He was 40 years old when he got his first goal. I mean, he's been doing it forever, but you don't know when that passion is going to pop up. I mean, did you think growing up that you wanted, we're going to own a radio station?
And for everybody out there listening, they've got layers on, snowboarders, skiers. Yep. These guys are chiseled. These guys are in really good shape.
Oh, yeah, they're ripped, yeah.
I was like, because you see them in winter coats and
right, yeah, you don't know,
and snow pants, and they take their helmet off and they've got the big gloves on because it's in the middle of winter, and I'm looking at these guys going, these are athletes. These guys are in some serious shape. Well, they look good.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Nick. He pours concrete. Right, and then he snowboards. So I mean, if you've ever done concrete or poured concrete, that's a brutal job. Even if it's coming out of the concrete truck, just moving that crap around, right?
Just moving it.
So I mean, it's dedication, it's determination. I mean, so they are, and you've got to be in good shape anyway when you're doing that stuff, because when you hit that snow, it's not forgiving.
No,
and to try to move your board around is not as easy as you
they're
think.
Not.
There's a lot of muscles.
They're not like the slalom, skiers who are in the wind tight suits that when you hit that ice, you're
sliding down the road. Yeah,
you're going to feel it and slide. Right. These guys, they're in snow pants and
they're in a lot more loose fitting, especially for like
a half pipe for Louis.
The half pipe, for Louis. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going up, you're twisting, you're turning. I mean, you need some movement. You need to be flexible. The guys going down, they're wanting to be tight and as aerodynamic as possible, which is, that's a trip too when you're going 70, 80 miles an hour down an ice-covered hill.
Yeah, you think of the luge or the skeleton,
I've always wanted to try that.
Oh, me too. But they get going 80 miles an hour on a little toboggan.
Not even a toboggan. It's two razor blades, basically, with a couple pieces of wood laying on. Well, it's not wood anymore. It's probably a composite, but still. Yep. Crazy.
Yep. Hey, listen, we are right at the back end of this show, and we absolutely love and appreciate everybody joining the grounds this morning. Not a typical grounds the last couple times, because we wholeheartedly believe in the USASA.org and what they do for America, what they do for youth, for what they do to help build dreams. And Scott and I, we still, I mean, we're old guys, but we still chase our dreams.
We're trying every day,
we're
man.
not done dreaming. And for what these guys do to help instill that into Americans of all ages, 86 years old, Colin.
Dude, that's awesome. That's
a dream, folks.
Yeah.
And if
hell, at 86, I just want to be walking still, for the guy to be snowboarding.
Yep.
Like, hello.
Yep. Hey, Ted. And if you can't chase that dream, then life's just not worth living. Right.
Well,
I appreciate that. If you can, please go out. There's a tag on there of ways to donate,
help out,
ways to give, it says. But check out usasa.org. They're here in McHenry for their third annual golf event today. It's a fundraiser. It's one of the biggest fundraisers for the Midwest USASA. And when you're there, also there you can go to the silent auction. And even though you're not here to golf, you can give, you can donate, or you can put in for a silent auction. There's a great thing. A trip to Costa Rica.
We got 4 pages of just amazing prizes that they got going on.
So please, if you can, by all means, just go out there and help support the USASA.org. 216net. We absolutely love them. We're going to do everything we can to continue to work with them and partner with them.
Absolutely.
Throughout. Yep, absolutely. So listen, we got to run. Come back in a half hour for Bridging Civil Tension with Phil Wallace and myself, Kent Jones, and then come back at 11 for Living Low Sodium with Mary Shep. Then we've got the Neighborhood Pulse at 1, and then we've got the In the Know with Steph and Joe. And here's the cool thing about In the Know with Steph and Joe is they are today at 3. They are giving props to everybody. Join that show if you have a small business, and they're going to share a link so you can come on or just stop by the studio. And you can promo your business, anything you got going on in your business. They want to give a shout out to all the small business owners, and the way to do that is to join their show and give your own business a shout out. So it's going to be a cool day.
Absolutely.
And then tonight, of course, we've got the Rise Up Foundation. Dustin Lynch is in town. We're going to be working there, helping out and just making sure that life is good. So
that's what it's all about, guys. Daily dose of encouragement, helping each other out, growing, becoming better every day. So we appreciate you guys stopping in for the grounds today at 216net and getting caught here with us. Have a great weekend. Go out, love everyone, and be the change that you want to see in the world, people.
I just hit the wrong button. So. I don't know what's happening. There it is. Let's get that.
We got the outgoing music. Thanks, guys.
There we go. Thanks, guys.
I read the news.